In this video, I'd like to go through the process of building a sample lesson in LessonKeeper so that you can see what the process is like with a variety of different block types. So I've got a blank lesson open and I'm ready to start adding content. I'm going to go to Add Block, and the first thing that I'm going to add is some text. So I can give this a headline. We'll say New Lesson here, and this is some lesson info for the student. And once I click Done, that block is there. The next block, maybe I want some more text, but I want it in a little different format. I want it in a list. So I'll go to Add Block and choose List this time. And I have a variety of types of lists that I can choose from. I can have bullet points or numbered points or even checkboxes that I can check on and off. So let's do a checkbox thing, and we'll do scale exercises for the title. And we'll say C major and F major and E minor. And maybe the student has already done C and F, so I can check those off and they can see that they still need some work on E minor. So as soon as I do that, the list gets embedded in the lesson with the same checks that I made in the editor. Next, I want to embed a PDF, some sheet music that the student might need for their lesson. So I'm going to go into a different app. I'm going to go to Fourscore, a popular app for music organization on iOS. And I have my PDF open here. I'm going to go to the Share icon, choose PDF, and then choose Open in LessonKeeper. And you can see that the PDF gets embedded right here. But maybe I want to go even more in depth. Maybe I want to take a look at this, and there's a passage that they need particular work on. So I'm going to go to Draw here, and I'm going to choose this red pen, and they need work on this particular section. So I'm just going to circle this for them so that they're sure to give that some extra attention. And you can see that gets reflected on the PDF that they'll see. Next, I want to record a sample of myself playing this exercise, or maybe that specific passage, so that they really know what to work on. So I'm going to go to Add Block, Audio, and I'll give LessonKeeper permission to record, which you only have to do the first time. And then I can record a sample of myself playing that segment, which we'll imagine I'm doing now. And then I'll stop the recording, and you can see that gets embedded as well. But maybe I want that above the PDF, so I'm sure they're going to listen to that first. On iOS, I'm going to tap and hold on this item, and I'm going to choose Move Up. So you can always reorganize the blocks. On the Mac, you would do this by right-clicking or control-clicking on the item. Now, maybe I want some just visual separation between some of these items. So I'm going to tap and hold on the first item and put a divider after that. And maybe I'll put a divider after the scales too, so they can really see that these are different sections. Finally, I want to take advantage of some of the multimedia features of LessonKeeper. So I want to embed a YouTube video that I can have the student watch right within the lesson. So I'm going to go to Add Block and choose YouTube, and it brings up this editor where I can just paste a YouTube link in directly, or I can search within the app. So I'm going to search for Coltrane Impressions, and you can see that it searches YouTube for me, and that's the video that I want, so I'll choose John Coltrane Quartet playing Impressions, and if I click Done, there's that video right there in the lesson. When the student gets the lesson webpage, they'll be able to view that right in line with everything else. On the last lesson that I did with the student, they had an item that I want them to look at again, and I don't want to have to recreate that. So at the top of the lesson here, I'm going to tap on Show Previous Lesson. This reveals everything we did in that last lesson, and they have a reminder here that I'm going to tap and hold on, and then I can tap Copy to Current Lesson, which will just bring that down into the new lesson. This Show Previous Lesson feature can be really handy because you can be looking at the previous lesson notes as you construct the new lesson notes. So there are plenty of more block types that LessonKeeper can make, plenty of other features that it has, but this is a way to get started making rich multimedia lessons for you and your students.